Welcome back, Valley friends. Today we'll be spending some time with one of my favorite villains in the Valley, Scar, in the quest, Nature and Nurture. To unlock this quest, you will need to have completed the curse with Mother Gothil and unlocked the Sunlit Plateau. Once all the requirements have been met, the quest will automatically start and you'll be prompted to investigate the giant skull in the elephant graveyard. You will need to enter the skull where you'll find Scar, chat with him once you're inside. Scar has been trapped in his cave since the beginning of the Forgetting, and he seems to be one of the few villagers that have not been affected by the dark magic of the Forgotten. He still has all his memories of what led up to the Forgetting. He also seems to think we're to blame for everything that has gone wrong in the valley. But for now, we need to focus on the main issue at hand. The river in the Sunlit Plateau has dried up, which in turn has caused the pillar of nurturing to become broken. Something is blocking the flow of the water, and unless we fix it, we will not be able to restore the pillar and the Sunlit Plateau. Scar believes the root of the problem lies in the Vitali's mines, which can be found below the cliffs in the Sunlit Plateau. He wants us to go into the mines and find the source of the problem and restore the flow of the river before it's too late. Once you're done chatting to Scar, you can make your way over to the entrance of the mines, which can be found at the mouth of the river. We will now need to explore the mines until we find what is blocking the river. You will need to follow the tracks all the way around to the other side of the blocked river, where you will find a small ramp that leads up to a barrel and a notice board. Here you will find the clue you need to fix the problem. Then we will need to search the mining camp, which is found at the bottom of the ramp. Here you should find a green chest containing some important items you'll need to fix the river. We'll need to chat with our friend Merlin about what we've uncovered in the Sunlit Plateau. He might have some useful advice. We tell Merlin about finding Scar trapped in his cave and how he wants us to help him restore the flow of the river in the Sunlit Plateau. We also explained that we had found some kind of giant night thorn roots blocking the flow of the river in the mines and that someone had left some instructions and ingredients for us to find. Merlin remembers that before we had arrived in the valley, one of the only ways they were able to stop the spread of some of the smaller night thorns was through using fizzy carbonated drinks like root beer. We find this very strange, but it's an imaginary valley, so anything goes. The recipe we found in the mines is for extra fizzy root beer, and Merlin thinks it might just be enough to remove the giant night thorn roots to restore the river. Even though we have our plan in place, Merlin still cautions us to be wary of Scar. He is one of the sneakier villains and won't do anything that doesn't benefit him in some way. We're going to need to prepare our extra fizzy root beer, but before we can do that, we'll need some ingredients. First, we'll need some sugarcane. Seeds for these can be purchased from Goofy's stall on Dazzle Beach. We will also need some vanilla, which we can find in the Sunlit Plateau. Now that we have all our ingredients, we can prepare our extra fizzy root beer. Make sure you are using the correct ingredients and the final drink you craft is the correct one, because we have normal root beer and the extra fizzy one for the quest. The ingredients you should add is 1 dried ginger, sugarcane, and vanilla. Make sure you have the extra fizzy root beer and the crackling candy in your bag, then make your way back into the mines to the spot where we found the barrel and notice board. Then place your root beer and crackling candy into the barrel. If done correctly, we will be able to restore the flow of the water. Once you're done, you can leave the mines, which will start a cutscene showing the Sunlit Plateau being restored. But there's more. We see the Forgotten fleeing the valley through a dark portal. Make your way over to the portal and follow the Forgotten to the other side. The Forgotten is fleeing into their dark castle and has blocked our way with some night thorns. But they dropped something. Use your tools to make your way over to the orb they have dropped, then pick it up. Hopefully we can use it to restore the Pillar of Nurturing. Once you've collected it, you can return to the valley through the portal. Once we're back in the valley, we'll need to go chat with Merlin to show him the orb we've found and tell him about the dark castle the Forgotten entered. We explained to Merlin that the Forgotten had looked just like us. Merlin thinks that perhaps the Forgotten is a splinter of us that stayed behind when we left the valley. We ask Merlin if he thinks Scar is right and this is all somehow our fault. But Merlin does not think we're to blame for what has happened to the valley. We cannot have predicted what our actions would cause. We finally ask him about the Orb of Nurturing. Something seems wrong, it's all dim and isn't glowing like the others have. Merlin explains that the orb had been the same when we had first placed it in the pillar long before the forgetting. Because the orb feeds off nature, it took some time to gain power from the natural life around it, but eventually it became powerful. He thinks we will need to do the same this time, but instead of placing the orb in the pillar, we will be planting it in the soil near the pillar where it will grow in power until it's ready to use again. We think this might take a long time, but Merlin has a plan to help with that too. He has finally remembered what the mines had been used for. The mines are a great source of special crystals called Vitalis crystals. These, when combined with other ingredients, make powerful elixirs which can help plants grow much faster than normal. We will need to collect some of these to make an elixir to help us power up the orb. So let's gather all the materials we'll need to make a miracle growth elixir. First, we'll need to head into the mines to collect 10 Vitalis crystals. You will also need 10 rich soil. The easiest way to get this is by planting and harvesting large numbers of crops. Wheat works best because it only takes a minute to grow. You will also need 1000 Dreamlight, then you can head to your crafting station to make a miracle growth elixir and use it on your watering can. Then we can head back over to Merlin to get our next instructions. We're ready to plant the orb and nurture it back to its full power. We will need to head over to the pillar in the sunlit plateau and plant the orb of nurturing. Make sure to water it with your watering can that has been charged with the miracle growth elixir. The orb will take a few days to grow, so you will need to be patient. Make sure you check on it regularly to ensure it's still watered. Once the orb is fully powered, you will be prompted to chat with Scar. This will complete the quest Nature and Nurture. As always, please leave us a like if you found this video useful, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I will see you next time as we continue our adventures with Scar.